Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. Women of Reddit, how do you feel when someone looks at your boobs while in a conversation? A subconscious glance is okay, but don't stare. I hate it when I accidentally do this, so it's nice to be pardoned a bit. For real. I feel such a pervert if a girl/woman notices my accidental glance and pulls up her shirt mid-conversario. Like, I'm sorry, okay. I always loved the Seefeld quote about it. Looking at cleavage is like looking at the sun. You don't stare at it. It's too risky. You get a sense of it and then you look away. Get a good look, Costaza. Once my wife and I were at a national park waiting for a bus to pick us up and bring us back to the parking lot. The bus stopped a few feet from us, the doors opened and this amazing vintage Hasselblad camera came out. Photography is one of my passions, so when I saw that $20,000 camera, I just could not peel my eyes away. My wife asked, "Enjoying the view, are you?" And only then I realized that the Hassie was nestled in between a very nice, shapely pair of boobs. And then I lifted my eyes to see the owner of the camera, and the boobs, shooting eye daggers at me. I turned to my wife and said, loudly so that the owner of the boob-framed camera would hear me too, I was looking at her camera. My wife replied, "Of course you were looking at the camera, I know you that much." I don't think she believes you though. I was in an elevator once. Lady whips out her phone and starts browsing Facebook. I took a glance, but when I did this she turned to look at me. I shifted my eyes to her boob instead, thinking it would be less creepy. I think that's a vintage Hasselblad. Might have helped smooth things over lol. Looks at camera nestled in boobs. Turns to wife and gestures towards lady's chest. Honey, get a look at that. I'm sure that set her back like 20 grand. Well. Those puppies ain't cheap. Depends on how they do it. If it's a quick glance, it's fine. That's normal and feels mostly involuntary on behalf of the person looking. I notice, but it doesn't bother me. If they stare at my boobs while other people are talking, or worse, while I'm talking, that makes me uncomfortable. Fortunately, I've experienced glancing a lot more frequently than staring. The glance is definitely involuntary instinct. I had an elderly principal in junior high who still wore pretty low-cut shirts and did a quick up-down shift every time, even when I didn't want to. Reminds me of Mrs. Martin in 4th grade who, in retrospect, was probably in her early 40s. But she always wore button-down blouses that she kept unbuttoned pretty low, and her bra as well as some of its contents were always readily in view. Or maybe we were all just little perverts. But yeah, I remember not being able to not notice every time. I remember meeting a girl at a party in college who had some of the largest tatas I had seen, and she was rather exposed with her clothing choices. The moment I saw her I thought, I bet I can have a conversation with her without looking down. She and I talked for a good 15 minutes and it was insanely exhausting. I could feel Mother Earth's gravity pulling my head and eyes down constantly. The longer I went without looking, the more effort it took not to look. Did I win my dumb challenge? I honestly have no idea. I don't remember ever looking down, but I think it may have been exactly like Charlie Day trying to break the world record for holding his breath. Damn, thanks. I feel always bad for a quick look on boobs when I talk to a girl, because it's like a primordial instinct I can't control for me, so I tends to think the girls can go I'm a perv or something else, but now I feel a bit better. I hate reading half of what her shirt says. I realize I'm staring at her chest, stop reading, then spend the rest of the conversation stopping myself from reading the rest of the shirt. You glance, stare, it's like looking into the sun. Yeah, you don't stare at it, it's too risky, you get a sense of it and then look away. You're supposed to just peek after a poke. I get offended. But then again, I'm a fat dude, so I don't think this question pertains to me. Fuck you for ruining my imagination. Or making it better. When women wear graphic t-shirts with writing on their chest, I'm always hesitant to read it because I don't want to look like a jackass. I can tell when someone is reading my shirt versus just staring at my boobs. I don't mind people stopping and taking a good look at the text. I know it's hard to read, I'll even turn and fully face them so they can read it properly. I don't mind this at all. If I'm going to slap a message on my tits, I'm doing it cause I want people to read the message. No biggie. In fact, asking a woman what does your shirt say is a really good way to break the ice. Edit, I've seen multiple people mention feeling uncomfortable reading name tags. It's always okay to read name tags. They're literally there to be read. I've seen some women put their name tags on their upper sleeve if they felt uncomfortable with drawing attention to their left tit, so in that instance you all know a woman doesn't want you staring at her chest. If you're really uncomfortable with reading a name tag, that's okay, just introduce yourself and then ask their name. I usually start reading it, then wonder if the girl thinks I'm staring at her chest, and then mumble something incoherent like just "I'm trying to read your shirt," and then make a shitty act of squinting really hard and cocking my head to try to read it, the whole while screaming internally, "No, no, not like this, not like this." Need to work a little harder on not giving a fuck. I read a random girl's shirt to her walking into a store the other day. It said "Y'all motherfuckers need science" with a picture of Neil deGrasse. The text was large. I was wearing sunglasses. I think I was okay, but who knows? If they've decided to wear a shirt with a funny saying, that's on them. But as long as you only take the time necessary to read it, I've never had anyone complain. If you use the words as an excuse to goggle for an unnecessary length of time, well, you deserve to get called out. Well, I have tigobitis and dress like a mom, so I usually panic thinking that I spilled something on them. It's probably because I got spaghetti sauce on my boxy striped button-down shirt that 5 other moms at the park are wearing. Women of Reddit. How much sex do you have? What I am wondering if do you have sexy sex? As a fellow epic Reddito, I would like to inquire a question on perhaps the idea that perhaps maybe you enjoy sexual intercourse of the boob variety with fellow epic Redditors that also like sex with big boobs. Also, epic women of Reddit, how much epic sex do you have with boobs of Reddit? Women of Reddit. How many big sugar sex do you have, women of Reddit? Women of Reddit, are you also women? Perhaps maybe even have sex with other women and women of Reddit. Also, fellow women of Reddit, do you have giant milkers? Big jiggly milkis? Fat mommy milky mocha momos? Excuse my upfrontis. Please answer why or why not, or maybe big boobs. Spaghetti. Women of the internet website known as Reddit.com, what do you find attractive in men that are also me? Would you give me a blowjob, women of Reddit? Reddit, would you have sex with me? Women, what is your favorite blowjob position? Men of Reddit, do you like getting blowjobs? Why or why not? Women of Reddit, do you have big boobs? Women of Reddit, will you have sex with men that have big boobs? Why or why not, or why yes? Women that are women of Reddit, if given a chance to use your enormous big bobos to have sex with men of Reddit, would you? Perhaps maybe even have sex? Sexy women of Reddit, is this an epic Reddit women moment? Would you have sex if you were given the chance to have sex? And what if the snail was locked in a box under the ocean, but if the snail touches you, you die but also have sex? You were given $1 million to have sex with me. Reddit of Reddit, would you have sex with the decoy snail that is also boobs? Women with $3 million, if you were given a superpower to have sex with me, would you have sex with epic Reddit? Women with giant jugs of Reddit, if you were given $1 billion and also a ham sandwich, would you have sex with me and fellow epic women of Reddit? What villain was actually the hero of the story? Men of Reddit, if you were given $1 billion, would you get a blowjob from a woman with big boobs that is of Reddit? What if I choose to also have sex with this guy's dead wife that also has big dead boobs? Why? Women are boobs. What villain actually had huge boobs and was a woman? Men of Reddit, would you be a women of Reddit? Women of Reddit, will you be? Fellow women of Reddit. Women. So in this case it wasn't vomit on the sweater already, but it was mom's spaghetti. Thank God for this comment section. Sometimes I accidentally look and I don't realize it, and I'm always fucking punching the air in my head. I get what you mean, but also saying punching the air makes it seem like you're going woohoo. I saw boobs. In your head. For most, it's probably a bit of both. I'm a woman who routinely gets distracted by nice breasts during conversations. Sometimes even my own. Oh my god, the amount of women who look at my boobs while I'm talking astounds me. Lol. Straight women are worse about it than straight men, lol, it's the funniest thing. If we've ever met, I promise I have done that. You ever been at a nightclub and go to the washroom with a friend, and when you're standing at the counter applying lipstick, say to her, while looking right at her boobs in the mirror, "Your boobs look so good," and it gets kinda silent for a second, then you regret it. Then 2 weeks later when out eating and you're talking, she says, "I appreciate you looking at my eyes this time." Awkwardly specific LMAO. Your friend sucks. What kind of friend doesn't appreciate a boob compliment? I'm more comfortable with that than eye contact. Edit. Thank you for the unexpected reaction, mostly positive. Please note that I'm not sending anyone PMs of my tits for you to wank over, despite the money offers, but thanks anyway. Excuse me, my boobs are down here. I'm sorry. I was just reading your face mask.